Um, so right now I'm going to give a brief introduction about our organization, Advocates for Earth. I'll just rush through for the sake of time. Okay. Thank you. I wanted to ask for those at the back, can you see clearly? Okay, that's fine. So, this is our story. Advocates for Earth is a non-profit activist, environmental lawyers and non-lawyers fighting for environmental, climate and wildlife justice. So, the team is made up of environmental activists, lawyers, environmental scientists, volunteers, policy researchers, technical people and scientists standing up for the environmental, climate and wildlife justice in Zimbabwe and the global south. We are based in Harare and in Zimbabwe, but with a global reach. Next. Okay. So, the idea for an organized, vibrant network of environmental activists, lawyers, researchers, and volunteers was built after realization that there was a great void in critical environmental, climate, and wildlife justice campaigning in Zimbabwe. The organization was founded by the environmental lawyer and activist, Comrade Lenin Chisaira, and it was originally known as the People and Earth Solidarity Network, which was later on changed to Advocates for Earth. So the solidarity aspect remains in our motto, solidarity for environmental justice. And the organization has initiated public interest litigation on sensitive issues such as wildlife capture and trade in Zimbabwe. So we were also actively involved in fighting the export of baby elephants to Asia. And representatives have participated in local and global forums such as the UNFCCC, COP24, CITES, COP18, and many other summits to do with climate change and wildlife. This is also another case that we have dealt with, and it was to do with wetlands. So it's also our job to hold big companies accountable and suing them if they are doing wrong to the environment. And we also do workshops, and last week we were in Wanke and Lupane visiting the core industries and interviewing coal miners and the situation that they are in as workers and the problems that they are facing in the coal industry. And so that was the change of name I alluded to before. So this is our history in pictures and our work. We were there to also assist with victims of Cyclone Idai, which is another effect of climate change. And that's a cleanup campaign. And this is a youth symposium and many other workshops that we do. And the National Citizens Convention. We also do online platforms to do with wildlife, climate change and mining. So our vision is to see an environmentally just and more equal world where people and species have legally protected environmental, climate, and wildlife justice rights, especially in Zimbabwe and the global south. And our mission as Advocates for Earth is to build or strengthen a global movement for environmental law, climate, and wildlife justice. Can you go back? We are concerned with climate injustice, wildlife extinction, societal inequality, environmental degradation, biodiversity loss, and environmental injustice. And our team remains keen to interrogate the link between the environment, law, policy, and science. So we are not only there for the environment, but we are also there for the people who are affected most by environmental degradation, by climate change. And those are our guiding principles: solidarity, eco-socialism, environmentalism, volunteerism, internationalism. So we have our board, and these are responsible for Advocates for Earth's operations. And our board of trustees practices appropriate oversight and governance in order to further the work and objectives of the trust. The founding board is youthful, gender sensitive, and diverse. The number of trustees at any time is supposed to be at least 3 and at most 5. So we are privileged to have 2 of our board members in the house. We have Lenin Chisaira and we have Tinashe Didimas Makuyana, who is also a legal practitioner. And in absentia, we have Christine Juta, Precious Mabena Lupasha, and Tsitsima Zikana. She's not here yet. She's coming, yes, she's coming. So as you can see, we also practice gender balance. Actually, there are many women, so it's becoming a problem, but yes, there are more women than men. So, yeah. So the Advocates for Earth team consists of youthful and passionate environmental activists. The team is multidisciplinary, made up of qualified environmental lawyers. We have ecologists, scientists, development practitioners, journalists, and activists. So this is the staff. As you can see, there are many women. Yeah. So these are our staff. We have Lenin, we have Natasha. I think you've seen them. Those who couldn't attend are Sandy Dube, our volunteers manager. We have Kudakwashe Mnyoro, our volunteer environmental lawyer, and Kudakwashe Munemo, our finance and administration consultant. They are not here with us today. And the most important people in our organization are the volunteers. And we have a passionate group of such whose work is greatly appreciated. And for those who wish to volunteer, those are the requirements that must have completed your tertiary studies, and you understand it's a voluntary position, and you must have a demonstrable passion for the environment, human and species rights, climate, and wildlife. So we have also published our work, and we have our journals that we launched recently at our annual youth symposium, and it's an organization giving young people opportunities to write their papers, and we publish them so that we can share and read. So we have 3 thematic areas, and these are wildlife, biodiversity, and nature. We have climate justice, extractives, and renewable energy. We have human rights and environmental justice. And that is our programming model. The Advocates for Earth programming model consists of 6 key strategic interventions, and these are the model: public interest and environmental litigation, campaigns, public education and movement building, legislative and treaty advocacy, legal, scientific and policy research, innovative media and environmental communication, organizational and volunteer development. And the following are our services. We do legal services, lobbying and promoting the interests of clients, species, and stakeholders on environmental, climate, and wildlife justice issues. And advocacy services to raise public and legislative awareness on environmental issues, social media and online e-newsletter and e-statements on environmental, climate, and wildlife justice, research and consultancy services, fundraising for environmental, climate, and wildlife justice, training and e-educational services on environmental laws, policies to communities, legislators, and other interested parties. So for partnership, collaboration, and to request our services, with our emails below, campaigns@advocates4earth.org and the advocates4earth.trust@gmail.com. And our work is helped by a network of full-time, part-time, and volunteer lawyers and non-lawyers. They need support of whatever means, financial or otherwise, to continue doing the work. So kindly make use of our emails to support, seek assistance, partnership, or collaboration with Advocates for Earth in protecting our environment, climate, or wildlife. So these are our social media handles. We have our business WhatsApp line and our email addresses, and follow us on our social media platforms. So that's all there is about Advocates for Earth. I would like to give this opportunity to Lenin Chisaira, who is going to take us through our workshop objectives and expectations. Thank you.